Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your favorite old head, Uncle Demi. Welcome to the Uncle Demi Podcast. And today I have some truly special guests here, and I want to formally introduce them, man. I'm going to tell y'all right now, guys, I got some good juice for y'all right here. Check this out. All right, so Splash, a celebrated figure in the NBA 2K scene. Splash Edition is renowned for his exceptional skills in MYTeam, having clinched the prestigious $250,000 MYTeam tournament. His prowess extends beyond the virtual courts, as he also is a former professional player in the NBA 2K League. As a content creator, he engages his audience with his streaming sessions on Twitch, sharing gameplay strategies and insights that have garnered him a dedicated following. His victory in the NBA 2K22 Current Gen MYTeam tournament is a testament to his strategic gameplay as it solidified his reputation in the community. All right. And then we also got my man Tydebo. He's another GOAT in the NBA 2K community with a track record of success that includes winning the NBA 2K21 and NBA 2K22 MYTeam $250,000 tournaments. His channel is a hub for NBA 2K enthusiasts, offering a mix of informational content, reaction videos, and high-level gameplay. His competitive edge was first recognized when he won the inaugural NBA 2K Global Championship. And he continues to be a dominant force in the scene. Tydebo's content is not only entertaining, but also educational, helping players improve their game. We got both Splash Edition and Tydebo today. Welcome to the Uncle Demi Podcast. I hope y'all like that, man. I did that myself, by the way. I wrote that down. But what's going on with y'all boys, man? How's it going, man?
Man, just chilling. Appreciate you so much for having us here. For those who don't know, I'm Splash, Twitch Splashy, YouTube Splashy. As he said, 250K winner, was leading in scoring and assists in the 2K League, Olympic finalist. And I feel like I'm the most knowledgeable in the game. So, that's what I'm here to do. Drop some knowledge and let people know how I feel, especially with y'all favorite old heads. So appreciate you for having me once again.
Man, appreciate it, Ty.
Yeah, man, your intro said a lot, man. I don't know if I need to even say anything more, man. But no, well prepared, man. But yeah, man, like Splash said, I mean, I feel like him and I both pretty dedicated to the game. So I think that's part of the reason Demi's having us on here, and I'm glad to be here, Demi. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Like I said, I know we was talking before we came live, and I was just thinking, hey. When I first initially thought of, who I should have on here, I thought of y'all two because the accomplishments that y'all have done in this game is just y'all pros, right? Y'all have done so much that y'all respected in the game. So to me, your opinions matter. It holds more weight. So I'm definitely excited to be able to get this going. And of course, we're going to talk just about the MYTeam aspect of the game right now, currently. And then of course, in the future, in the past. But what I first want to do is, I guess we'll start with you, Splash, is let's talk about what got you into MYTeam and not necessarily the park. Like, the park has always been a popular avenue, but maybe you play both. I know you play both because we played, but it seems like you play mostly MYTeam. So why MYTeam over park?
Really a funny story because I was in college. I say it was my second year. I was getting ready to go for my associates. I had just got injured. And I had you could connect to the server in college. Like you could plug your LAN up. I had my TV on the bed. And 250K I got announced. And I'm like, man, I have never played MYTeam. But I was a genuinely good 2K player. So I'm like, it's no way I can't because the way I look at 2K, I think 2K is just reps. So I was like, if I play MYTeam, it's no way I can't at least compete for this 250,000. I played 2K all day anyway, so I might as well do it. I wasn't streaming at the time. I ended up becoming the first seed. A bunch of other uncontrollable factors happened in the actual tournament, and I guess that's where I spiked off. I got really cool with the top content creators. Then I just went from there because I'm just a pretty entertaining figure. So it just kind of just tracked on the whole time. But basically because I was it's no way they could beat me if I play the game mode as much as them. That's how I got into it.
So the 250 definitely enticed you to switch over.
100%.
Okay, cool. How about you, Ty?
Yeah, so for me, I growing up, I would say played more MYTeam. I've always been around MYTeam. I would say there was one year, I think it was 2K18 when blow-bys were crazy, that I played a little bit of Comp Pro-Am. And then 2K19, I think that was the second year of the league, and that was my freshman year of college. I knew I'd have more time, but then 250 got announced. And I remember my brother telling me basically you got to pick one or the other, to focus on. And I was like, man, the year before I kind of wanted to do the league, so I was like, I'm gonna do that. And then And then like after seeing like I didn't even play my team until after 250 that year, and then seeing all that and how it worked out, I was like, yeah, I need to make the switch. And then I won the globals that following year. So I mean, it all just kind of worked out, I guess.
That's amazing to sit there and think that you were trying to become a professional in the 2K league, right? And then did you try out? Because you said the year before you was trying to get in the league. So you were actually pretty decent as just playing, not as a team, but just as an individual playing just, I guess it'd be park, right? Like where were you really honing your skills? Was it park and playing rec and pro-am? Because you said there was something about pro-am in that conversation just now.
Yeah, so I feel like I'd always been good at like the 5v5 stuff and then like my leagues and stuff. But like, again, when the league got announced, I really kind of was like interested in it because I was like, this is crazy, like playing like 2K and whatever, making a life out of it. But then, yeah, like right before the combine, it was a weird situation. I ended up getting banned, and it was in my team actually because one of my buddies wanted to transfer, whatever, and I got banned that year. And it's crazy.
Okay.
Following 3 years, they didn't do anything about banning, but got banned my whole account. So yeah, I wasn't actually able to play in the combine, which at that time I was like, what in the world? I was so down bad, but like that actually allowed me, I guess, to get into my team more because after the combine, I was like, got into my team a little bit. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. So, okay, both of y'all have won at the pinnacle when it comes to the MYTeam side of things, the 250,000. And it's funny, actually doing my research, y'all played each other for was it 250 or was it for the one console side? Which one was it?
250. We played in 2K21 on current gen.
On current gen for the 250. So then that means Ty, you walked away with the 200 and then you walked away with 50 Splash.
Yeah,
that's okay. Good. That's awesome. And then the following year, Ty, you end up winning again.
He won on
next gen,
and I won on current. And funny thing is, he not gonna say it because he were humble. We would have played on current, but a whole debacle happened, like with Microsoft and a bunch of other stuff that like would be a long story because we were gonna match up on current. Most likely because he was obviously the favorite to come out on Xbox. So that was unfortunate because, you know me, I wanted my get back. And like, just for the community, it's amazing to see like both of us playing versus each other for like the big pot, not just like messing around in Unlimited or something. Like when we really both locked in at our pinnacle, like that's amazing to see. So that was unfortunate. Like I feel like for the community.
Okay. So that, go ahead.
I was going to say, man, I think I got the worst luck in the community, man. Genuinely, man. I somehow forgot my password 3 times in a row. I think it was a Microsoft issue because I wrote it down each time. But then I got locked out of my account for 24 hours on the day of 250. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So was you able to get another account or you actually just had to fold?
No, they didn't let me play.
Wow.
And the crazy part is I'd been because current gen was the day of and then next gen was the day after. And it was 24 hours. I didn't even know if I'd have my account the next day because I didn't know for sure. And then like 5 minutes before my game, I got my account back. Never have really touched next gen before that because I was so focused on current gen. And then loaded up. I was down 24 points in the second quarter and came back and won.
That's the same thing that happened to me. I didn't lab current gen at all because like the whole coming up, I was like, I'm just gonna win next gen because I won every tournament on next gen PlayStation. I was violating PlayStation, and then I got on current. I think I was down 21 to gen on in the third quarter, and like I just ended up winning. I never had played current prior to that tournament because I put all my eggs in the basket on next. So that's funny. That.
They're two different games, man. So that's very commendable to be able to pull those off, man. But that's crazy to sit there and forget your password or whatever Microsoft and miss out on 250, man. I would have curled up in a ball, man, and just been depressed, bro. Like
I was for them 24 hours, man.
I know your parents are like, you what? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? You just don't know your password? Yeah, man. That's amazing. Okay, so that's good to know. So basically, just laying out the foundation. Obviously, y'all know how to play this game. Y'all have a really good history being embedded into it. So now let's just go ahead and hop in. Let's not hop into 2K24. 2K24, let's go 2K23 when they still had the auction house. Okay, so let's talk about the auction house. And I wanted to genuinely give y'all both an opportunity to speak on the wild, wild west of the auction house and whether it was legit or not legit. Let's not talk about what we know in 24 right now. Let's just talk about right when the game first came out, your initial thoughts of auction house gone. We're opening up player market. So let's talk about 2K23. Let's talk about the player market, how you felt about the player market. I mean, not the player market, the auction house during that time. And then the news of the auction house leaving, you get the player market. I'll let it open up for both of y'all.
I can start with this. I think the auction house is great. Everybody that's played an Ultimate Team mode would agree with that. I think the problem with the auction house is the inflated prices of the auction house. So like when you're looking at like a Yao Ming being like 2 million MT, and all the rest of the cars, like Minute was 10 million MT. Why are they so expensive? It's because of these third-party sellers. Like that's just the truth. Like everybody has infinite MT. And so, I can speak for myself, after I got banned, when I was competing for the league in like 2K19, I was like, I'm never even messing around with it anymore. But then you got like, if you're going to try to win tournaments, right, you have to have the best team.
Yep.
And it's impossible to it's literally impossible because you have to, have the best team to get that best team. I mean, with everybody else buying MT, you kind of got to do the same thing. But the auction house was great in principle. It just, and it still would be, but there has to be a way to not allow that third party, seller. I don't know. Splash, what are your thoughts?
I definitely agree with it. I think like the main thing that I liked about the auction house is obviously it was the availability of every card, but the asterisk on it was if you had the MT, like he said, the inflation on the market was crazy because of the third party sellers. And like he said, if you were comp and let's say Yao Ming dropped, Yao Ming was the only card that dropped on 2K23 to where like if you don't have him, you can't even play comp. He got banned in comp until everybody who was playing had him. He was 2.9 million MT, and that wasn't like you can't just snap and make 2.9 million. So like when I would say personally, when the player market first got announced, what it was explained to be, I was like, okay, this shouldn't be that bad. But I was like, it could be a player market and an auction house if they gonna do that. Because they made it seem like, which we're gonna obviously get into over the entire podcast, every card's gonna be obtainable. Yeah. Every card, period. So if his favorite play, let's say he likes a T-Wolves cat comes out, if Steph Curry comes out, I just get to go get him. But, we've gotten to a different debacle. But it would just be better if they found a way to just put a pinnacle and, like, just stop the third-party sellers. But the best way for them to do that would be to sell MT in game. And I think from a business standpoint, what they could have did was they obviously can go look on their laptops and look at what the prices are for the third-party sellers. I'm not saying just match them completely, but just lower it. Because the problem with the third-party sellers, if you look at it from devil's advocate, is it wrong? 100%. Is it against rules? 100%. But if I have a chance to spend $100 to get 400 KMT, then I have a chance to spend $100 and get 40 million MT. I'm just going to pick the 40 million every single time.
Yes, exactly.
Especially if it's been working. I haven't been getting banned for it. So I got to do it. Is it wrong? Yeah. But everybody's doing it. So, hey, it's the only way to keep up.
So, yeah, exactly. So with that thought process, see, for me, 24 was my first year playing my team. 23 at the end of the year, I ended up going in there and I was just like shell shocked at the pricing. I'm like, what? So I was going to auction house. I'm like, well, how do you get this much MT? Now, keep in mind, I'm completely ignorant, right? I don't know about third party. I'm just sitting there trying to figure out, how do you get 2.9 million? How is everybody walking around with, with these Yao Mings and stuff like, so to me, that's something that rang bells to me. And I just immediately said, nah, I'm not doing that. And I backed out. I was like, that's just ridiculous amount of money that needs to be spent. Cause I'm still thinking you got to spend, hard-earned cash to be able to get that 2.9 million. All right. So, okay. So now we got this thought. Now we fast forward, to September and we get the first playbook. And they talk about the player market. And I know that you just hit on it, Splash. The player market is now being officially released. Okay. So again, I don't want to jump too far ahead. Let's just stay in the moment. Let's just try to go back into that mode. Right. My personal reaction was, like you were saying, Splash, was like, wow, okay, cool. So now every single card is going to be attainable. That's going to be awesome. The second part of that was, okay, so now we don't have to worry about getting inflated prices. We'll get a set price, okay? So I'm going to go ahead now and pass it on to y'all. Your initial thoughts when you saw the player market being announced, what was your initial thoughts?
When I thought it was announced, or when I saw it was announced, I was like, I wasn't unsure because the auction house after people initially got banned, then there were wrongful bans, and then there was just so much negativity going on. So I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I'll give it a chance. And I think initially for the top level talent, the top level cards, it made it attainable. Like you said, like you could get every Friday the best car, or you could buy the whole set for what, $50.
Mm-hmm.
And I've even said in one of my videos today, like, did I spend a lot of money, pre where we're at now? Yeah, but it was $50 here, and then in a couple more weeks, $50 here. It was that occasional little bit of money to continue to have my team up to date. One thing I didn't like is the best players were behind lock-ins, so you had to buy the whole set and lock it in. But even that, you could buy a Wemby for $50.
Yeah,
awesome. You know what? Awesome. I do wish earlier on there might have been more, solid budget options, stuff like that. But I thought initially in the player market, for me personally, it was easiest to be no money spent as ever it was in previous 2Ks. And it was easier to have the best team in the game. Even compared to when I bought MT last year, it was just as cheap this year.
Okay, so Splash, and I'll bounce that because he answered. I'm pretty sure you might have something similar. Do you think by the player market being announced and being implemented, do you think it benefited the casual MyTeam player, the sweaty MyTeam player, or did it benefit both?
I think in a way I'll say both. I won't use the word really casual because I don't think just pure casual spend money on it. Like people with no knowledge just don't walk into MyTeam. Most of them are gonna look up his channel. Let's do a no money spent. I'd
there you
say
go. Okay,
let's
say no money spent.
Yeah,
no money spent
I'll say it more benefited the sweaty than the no money spent, but the no money spent wasn't hard as well. The reason I say it benefited the sweaty was because like he said, Wemby, if he drops last year, is two million. At probably minimum. With the inflated prices, he's $2 million. We were able to go get Wemby for $48. You go put 50 on it because you can't buy $48 worth, but you go get him for $50. Kobe Bryant was $150. He was 3 separate sets. Well, it was 6 separate sets. 50, 50, 20, 20, 20. Boom. You got the 3 best cards on the game. But like I said, the only thing I said I disagreed with was it wasn't like any good cards outside of the lock-ins. And also the problem where I say it affected the no money spent negatively is because we didn't have any budget options that we had in past years. Past years, we had, oh my goodness, you can go get this card, this card, this card. They're not on LeBron James's level. But hey, I can put him in the game, and if I'm good enough, I can compete versus LeBron James. Now it's like, if you don't got LeBron James, you don't got the card. You need to go get, me and Ty play. He has LeBron. I have Darius Miles. I got to go get LeBron James. It's over. Exactly. It's not the way it used to be. So I'd say it affected the sweaty a little bit more. But I'd say the only pro I had at a player market, especially when it first came out, was I was like, that 4-hour wait as a content creator. Let's say Steph Curry drops. You got to wait 4 hours to get him from the auction house unless you go pull packs. Player market, 11 Eastern. I go get Steph. We go do the gameplay. I can get it up in 50 minutes.
Yep.
Dang near. So that's why I say the pro was. And then the con was just I feel like they could have did a player market auction house collab. Just keep the auction house for something. For those people who want to just go buy the car, go ahead. But I feel like I don't know if it would be too much for 2K to balance around, but I feel like they could have kept both. But
okay, so then let's say this then. Now that we're at this moment, who is the blame for the failure of the auction house? Who would you say would be blamed for that? Is it going to be the individuals that was manipulating the third parties, or would you say, you know what, 2K, there was a way that you could circumvent that? It's your fault. You should have found a better way to be able to navigate that auction house. It's your game. It's your platform. You should be able to do that. Or is it you know what? Nah, the community, we messed up a good thing. It's our fault. Who would you put the blame on?
I think it's 100% 2K's fault. And initially when they ban people, all right, cool. If 2K tweets out a warning, you know what? Any future violations of our MTTOS is going to result in a 2-week ban. Okay, call their bluff. They see you buy MT, and their wrongful bans is a problem. I get that. But they see you buy MT, they ban you for 2 weeks. Who's going to do it again if the next is permanent? Mm-hmm. The fact of the matter is they didn't ban people for probably 3 or 4 years before it. And then they come out and ban people from the 250, ban people for 10 days directly. That's the problem for me. It's like this, right? Everybody speeds, right? It'd be like everybody that speed tomorrow get pulled over and get $1,000 ticket. Come on, man. Maybe the city starts saying, you know what, we're gonna start enforcing this a little bit more. Whatever it is. I mean, I just feel like you can't come down so hard and then and then expect the community to I don't know, be accepting of that.
Exactly. Splash, what you got?
I basically agree. I think amazing analogy. I basically agree because the funny thing is the way they went about it on 2K23 was so wrong because they so-called gave us a warning. Next day we was all banned. So like it was like they gave us the warning. They was like, well, if anybody continues to buy from the future third-party sellers, you will be banned and da da da. So we're all on stream like, okay, I'm done. Don't worry, because keep in mind 250s in 2.5 weeks. We don't got time to dilly-dally. We're labbing. We're all getting prepared. Some of us had to sweat our behinds off to go get on both gens. Qualifying on both gens is already hard enough. So we got to switch it back and forth between current and next, this and that. Boom. The warning comes out. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Okay. Won't buy another thing. Next day, we're all banned. So, like, I just feel like they could have went about that different. And it was a 2.5 week thing. So even if they wanted to 2 week ban us, I'm fine with that. Cool. Okay, my bad. It will not happen again. It's like my mama. Sneak out the house again and you done. But
exactly.
She just catch me the first time I sneak out and she ain't give me no warning. But after the wrongful stuff happened, I'll 100% I'll do it again. So I'll definitely say the beginning was 100% 2K. I think fast forward to right now, and yes, Ty's not a part of this problem. I am still a part of this problem a little bit. I feel like if the community could come to a set pack strike, just a set pack strike, then it would be amazing. Like Madden did this, I say last year, they were just livid. I also say the content creators have way more control over what the casual viewership does in Madden and like FIFA and stuff. But like 2K, it's not. We more got like what you would consider sweaty casuals watching our stuff. Like we don't really just got. He has casuals watching YouTube. I don't think nobody just casually comes to my Twitch. Like it's too much going on in there anyway. So that's where I say like if we could come to a definitive pack strike, like everybody just we done for 2 months. That would be that. And I think 2K went in the wrong area because I think so. We said this a while back. If 250 goes, MYTeam drops in prices like sales, everything, and then the My guy Herb, he usually writes articles on like 2K and what's going. Take Two's dropping by 9-10% revenue in MYTeam. They're dropping 11%. And then right after that article came out, All-Star came out. We were no longer able to obtain anybody.
There, and that's so funny. Hey, you led it right into what I was going to ask. So the thing is this. Do you think that call, that financial call, change the course of MYTeam, or was that already in play? Now, of course, we're just we don't know, right? We're not inside 2K, but the way everything was going up before All-Star, everybody was happy. The financial hearing came out, and then literally that's when we got our first gambling packs, type per se, right? What do you think? Do you think that was intended from day one, or do you think that was just 2K saying, okay, cool, we got to make a shift and go to these gambling packs because now all of a sudden, we're losing money?
I think 100% it was a shift. I don't think 2K, and this is my opinion, I don't think they care about the community. And this is part of last year when they forced their devs to unfollow the creators. Big red flag. So to think that they care about the creators or the people, community playing the game, I don't agree with that. Never will. But I don't think they'd intentionally lie in their dev blog, even with the Kobe Bryant collector level. I don't think that they intentionally would lie. I think at one point they were wanting MYTeam to be accessible. And then again, if you see a 10% drop, I mean, you're going to have to try to change the course of action. And I think they tried on the fly, and I don't think it's going too well. But
so, obviously, Take-Two is a publicly traded company. So, they're motivated by their investors. So let's say, for instance, y'all were investors in, Take-Two, and let's say y'all were heavily invested into that, right? And you're seeing that, hey, we have a 10% drop. What would you say? What would you do?
I would probably pull out instantly just because, like, I'm a really safe one when it comes to investing in stocks and bonds and stuff. So you can just get me out of there. When it looks like they're doing positive again, I'll be right back. They obviously don't have it figured out right now because they've never had this drop before. Let me get right out of there.
No, I mean, for me that like, yeah, I'm not in there. I would never right now be in there, but I think there's things that they could still do though. I genuinely do. But again, I think a lot of it too is bigger than the player market. It's bigger than it's the fact that they have went completely against the community, the community that promotes their game. The creators that they should want to work together with. I get I'm not always positive with 2K, but 2K shouldn't only want to, help and work with the guys that are yes man. You should be able to speak your mind on a game and still have the respect. So I think for me it's bigger than even what's going on right now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I feel like this, man, the driving force behind any public trading company is going to be the investors. The stocks is going to dictate, what direction companies got to go, right? Like something we learned early in college, high school, wherever you're at, we've never seen a business that didn't bring in money, right? Because if you're not bringing in money, right, you're out of business, okay? Mm-hmm. And we look at Take-Two, and you see that they are, in their first annual report, they have lost money. Let's just keep it a stack here, guys. Let's just take Take-Two out of it, okay? First of all, I want to state I'm absolutely on the same page as y'all. I really am not enjoying MYTeam. I really don't like it, right? But I'm investing in other stuff, and hey, I want to make this money, man. Yeah, y'all got to figure this out, right? Hey, I entrust in you. You the CEO, right? I entrust you. I want to see returns on my dollar, okay? So that's kind of where, I always say, like the pavement hits the road, right? That how do you have your backs against the wall as a company, knowing you got thousands and thousands and thousands of investors, right? And then you got your heavy hitters that own massive percentages, ringing down your back, saying, "Hey, this ain't good. We got to figure this out." And of course, the community, we're kind of like, as creators, I like to we're kind of like the captain of we're like Robin Hood, right? We're for the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, bunk that, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know in the back of our minds, we know like what these public traded companies like Tesla and all these companies that you're seeing that's going through some of the issues they're going through right now, right? We're like, man, we're for the people, we're for this, we're for that, but at the back of our heads, we know like, well, this is a publicly trading company, and any public trading company, your only job is just to generate revenue and show year-over-year growth, correct? So let's just keep it a stack here. I know there's frustration, right, within the community, but are we really not understanding of why 2K did this, right? We know why 2K did this, right?
The thing I'll say is I just wish they went about it different, because I've been trying to literally think about an analogy because I knew how this was going to end, but I couldn't really think of one, so I just have to explain it out. What I think they should have did when they saw that drop in revenue, and then the thing was, I feel like they were just having bad luck. And I play devil's advocate in every situation. I'm a grown ass man. You feel me? So I play devil's advocate in situations, especially when money's involved, businesses involved. I got a girlfriend who's finna be a wife soon, so yep. I gotta play devil's advocate. You feel me? But anyways, the thing I'll say is I wish they would have. That's why I wish the Next Maker program would either be like reworked or you bring in a few other bodies, because they bring in me and Ty. Like they obviously, they tried to blacklist us. For people who don't know, Carlo and Low-Key went into the what's the name. They tried to say our names like on the 250K podcast, and they said you have to refer to them as them. They were trying to fully blacklist everybody who got banned. That's neither here nor there though. I feel like it's like good guy, bad guy type situation. I'm a hero. I can't think like a villain. Let me bring in a cool villain to give me some villain thoughts. I feel like if they would have brought in me and Ty and just sat us down on a Zoom call and said, hey, we are blowing it in MYTeam right now. What can we do to keep the community happy, but also make us more money? My first answer would have been, especially with the traction they were doing, keep doing exactly what they were doing. They would have made more money. That's what they failed to understand. All-Star comes out, it goes into that player market. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goes into that pack market. Let's say you got to spend $150 to get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Do you know how many people would have bought $150 for that 100 overall? Etc. I feel like if they would have just stayed on what they would, I'm not going to say it would have increased by 200%, but it wouldn't have continued dropping, because the articles are still coming out. They're furloughing people. People are getting fired, etc. And it's because, like you said, the dollar's not dollaring. They're not making the money they're supposed to be making. And I just feel like even then, I'll even say, like, I obviously think they're far removed, but the thing they could do is season 7 is coming up in 3 days and some change. Put every card that was gambling just into the what's the name. You can go ahead and say, cool, season 7, we're gonna drop some spotlight season 7. That keeps No Money Spin happy. All of these cards we've been complaining about, it's some cards I still want from a month ago, 2 months ago, etc. Put them back in the pack market on a little bit of discounted prices though, because they're ODing it a little bit. They make money. That's what I feel. I feel like their bigger picture, or the higher ups that are controlling them, it's not to make money right now because they know they're not making the money they want to. Like, do I think it's some big spenders? And I barely spend, but I'm not considered big spenders. It's some big spenders out there that are still spending $1,000 a drop, $1,500 a drop, $2,000 a drop. But that's not equaling up to 50 people spending $100. Exactly. Or like he said, Wendy's $50. That's not equaling up to 5,000 people spending $50. So I just think that's what they should have did.
Okay, well then, Ty, I'm gonna throw this question at you, Ty. So that idea that Splash came up with, I immediately said the same thing, right? I immediately said the same thing. And what I got pushed back with was these 100 overall cards was meant to be sparingly, right? It didn't want to have 100 overall cards splattered all over in MYTeam, right? You wanted it to be a rarity. So how could you put 100 overall cards available to MYTeam, to the community, without absolutely destroying the imbalance of what was initially supposed to be a slow rollout, right? How would you do that?
Yeah, so
that's the $100 million question right there. Because yes, Splash, you're 100% right. But if you was to put $150 MYTeam, a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, or did you roll them all out? Listen, within hours, every single lineup you would face in a limited would be all 100 overall cards, because people are going to spend that money within a set amount of time to be able to have those lineups, right? So, but of course we don't want that, because we do want to have some type of variety. We do want to have some type of balance, right? So how could you continue that? And I'll throw that on Ty.
Yeah, so this is just an idea, and I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I remember a couple of years ago they had like the special insert for so they dropped let's say a dark matter MJ, and then they had 23 of the special MJs. Okay, so let's say for that drop they dropped the Kareem and just make him a dark matter. We don't have dark matters at the time, and then they released 33 of the 100 overall Kareems, and then there's a limit on it. But I don't know how that works without an auction house.
Yeah.
And the rest of those things. But also to hit on Splash's point about 2K is not right now seeing their returns, right? They're obviously it's not going well. But my thing is, long-term wise, it's not going well either. I think it's going worse long-term than it is short-term. And that's the problem I have with everything is it's yes, the auction house being taken out of the game is a whole new mode. Some people played MYTeam just because of the auction house. So if an auction house is not in the mode, they're going to see some drops. That it's just the way it is. And it's for them to just completely, I feel push away the community, to me, long-term wise, is going to hurt Take-Two more than the short-term.
Okay. I can respect that. And then Splash, I'll bounce it back with you right now just to end this part. What would be your solution to, instead of flooding 100 overall cards, for instance, I'll give an example. What if it's okay, fine then, Ty, I like that idea, by the way, too. What you're saying is that instead of throwing 100 overall cards, everybody pays, $150 for the dark matter version. And then some of you might get lucky enough to be able to pull just a set number of cards. Now, it's funny that you say that because, other games, they do have that. They'll let you know that you open up a certain amount of packs, you're guaranteed to get this, right?
That's actually every game, I think, except 2K.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So what, in my opinion, this is what I'm going to say now, give you, because sometimes I feel like, I can throw my opinion in it, is that why not have it to where, you open up a certain amount of packs, you're guaranteed to get this card, but the price of that is going to be high. You're going to pay a steep price for that. Let's say, for instance, I don't know, 2K will have a set numbers. A lot of people aren't going to pay that much. and it might be backlash, right? It's like $500 to get 100 overall Kareem, right? I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing out a number, right? What type of solutions do you think could have been done to where every card's attainable, but it's not going to flood the market?
The best way I could say that is I don't think there is a real definitive answer, and the reason being because I think right here we got a business standpoint. This is one side. The business standpoint is I'm 2K right now. I'm trying to make money. I'm Take Two. I'm trying to make money, and then it's please the community. Mm-hmm. We're already down 10%. We need to get that money back, and I feel like for them to get that money back, you're going to have to see those 100 overall Kareems all over the place. You're going to have to see that at least until they get their revenue back to where it's like, all right, we can chill for a second, but it's not to what it is now, at least. Mm-hmm. Because what I'll say with the limited thing Ty says, amazing idea. Another thing I'll say, and we've all been praising it, do you know how many more people would lock in these sets if it was an option pack for the Dark Matter? Mm-hmm. It's 7 Dark Matters. It's 3 trash ones. And who are you going to get when you lock in? The 3 trash ones. It's like, let's say the lock in is Kobe Bryant. You can get Kobe Bryant. You can get LeBron James. You can get Yao Ming. You can get Wemby. You can get Joe Johnson. You can get Muggsy Bogues, and you can get Earl Boykins. You're going to get Muggsy Bogues and Earl Boykins every single time. Yep. So imagine how many more people are going to lock in that set if I can go pick my Kobe, if I can go pick my LeBron, and then for them to, if we keep the variety up, put a multitude of good people into the packs instead of, hey, this Friday I'm just going to drop Yao and 6 bums. Hey, I'm going to drop Bron, MJ, and 10 bums. Like, I feel like you got to look at it from a money standpoint, and you got to look at it from a variety standpoint. I feel like if they want to do variety, they can do that easily without even involving money. Yeah. Spotlights, challenges, agendas. I feel like the Russian Bowl thing they were doing on Tuesdays was amazing until they started dropping trash cards in it. Yeah. So I feel like variety, I feel like they can do that a lot better than putting everybody in packs. And the easier answer to, okay, we don't want to see too many hundreds, so they want it to be its fair. Why is Kareem coming out in January anyways? He's a 100 overall. We don't have Dark Matters. We don't have Opals on the game yet. We have Pink Diamonds. Our first Opal just dropped. Let's throw in 100 overall into the set as well. They could have held Kareem till today, tomorrow. Yeah.
And that's my thing. Like, make a Dark Matter Kareem. He could be the best center in the game, but he's not going to be game breaking, you know. And the whole thing for me too is it's like his odds don't need to be that extreme. Like, I've always hated the less than 2%. Hated it because it's like you don't know. Like, but make it so 0.0000001 right for the 100 overall, but make it like rare, or maybe they could even have made the Kareem the lock in the Dark Matter Ream. You get all the opals for the All-Star, whatever it is. Could be I don't know, $90 for the East, $90 for the West. Boom, basically $200 for Dark Matter Ream. Like,
so is it safe to say that the 100 overalls were probably a bad idea because it kind of messes 100%.
Up the whole? It was just too early, I believe. I mean, even if I'm looking at it as, let's say 250 is a thing, because when you put 250 back into play, you're able to look at stuff a little bit different. Even if 250 was into play, as a comp player, I would be pissed because, like, why is a 100 overall coming out? We don't even have opals in our lineup yet. Our lineup is Kobe Bryant, Wemby, PD, Diamond, Penny, etc. Drop 100 overall Ream into the. I feel like they could have just pushed it back, or just. Obviously, like, they just could have made it a little bit more obtainable. Even if it's not as, because I feel like that was even price healthy the way Ty said it. Even if it wasn't 90 feet, it could have been 100 feet. It could have been 120, 120, 130, 130. Everybody's not going to lock that in, but
you know what? That's a good
people
point.
Are going to lock that in, though. Yeah, and I think you got to look at it like that.
Because now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, Kobe required $150 to get, and to be honest with you, it was like everybody did have them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you could definitely, and again, they have numbers back that we don't have, right? They know the statistics back there. There's a way that you could put a price point to where people could still feel it's attainable, and also not have the market flooded. So, you know, I could definitely see that. But I'm in agreement with you. I felt like the 100 overall was like, whoa, like that was like, where'd this come from? This just came out of nowhere, right? And everybody started pulling. And then, right, I'll bring this up as a side note, okay? Brings up as a damn side note. Me and what's the name pulled the 100 overall Kareems, okay? Now my dumb ass, I was like, all right, bet. I was excited. I was like, hell yeah, you know, right? So I'll go out there, boom. Because, you know, I'm just like, y'all, man, I play the game, just this and that, right? And you get lost in the mix of finding, like, you know, what type of titles you have. as the next maker leader, right? And we'll talk about that at the end because I think that there's some things I want to brush up on that. Because I saw a video of Ty and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely want to address that shit, right? But but I was is it Kaze, right? No, yeah, because his name Kaze, right? No, what's the guy name? Not Kaze. The other guy in the next makers, I got the Kareem. The same time we got it.
I don't even know how many people got that.
Yeah, I think it was there was a killer.
Oh, Killer Zamoy. You talk about
Killer Zamoy.
Killer
Zamoy. There you go. Yeah. So he we pulled it, and I was saying, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, of course he gets it because he's a next maker." Da 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 da. Right now, one, yeah, I definitely didn't get that card handed to me. I pulled it, right, and of course, I 100% after I got the pushback, I asked, and it was like, hell no, like for legal reasons, there's no way we could ever do that. 2K doesn't trust individuals. I'm gonna let you know that right now. They do not trust you enough to do something like that because at any point in time, if I was to get pissed off and just say, you know what, 2K gave me that, that's a massive lawsuit waiting to happen across the country, right? So of course, that type of stuff don't happen, but the community thinks that. So it just was one of those things that I will never. I'm not gonna say I would never truly know if it happened or not because I trust that they're not gonna put me in a situation to like get paid, like pie on my face, but that was something that was very disturbing, say the least, right? That two of us happened to pull it, and I don't know how many 100 overalls are actually being pulled. I've asked numerous times, like, how many 100 overalls are actually out there in the world right now? And I want to ask each one of y'all, because I'll speak for myself. The whole time I've been playing, I came in season 3, so of course I been here for every single 100 overall card that's been released. I've only played somebody that had a 100 overall card 3 times. How many times have y'all played a 100 overall card?
Are you saying pre-option pack or post-option pack? Because
no, I'm talking
post-option pack, I play 100 overall every game, but it's because my SBMM is crazy. So, like, I'll search for 30 minutes. Like, if Ty's not searching and 5 other people not searching, I'm just not going to get a game. So, like, I only play comp people in my skill-based matchmaking. I play 100 overall every game.
Oh, dang.
2 because of the option pack. Giannis and Brian usually.
Well, dang, okay. Well, then, so maybe yours is a little different than me because I want to play 3 because I was thinking, like, man, there's not a lot of $100 cards out here. But you feel like everybody got 100. How about you, Ty? How do you feel about $100? Do you play a lot?
I'll even say this. Before the option pack, so before the collector level thing, and let's say like a MYTeam tournament, you would rarely, there's one account you'll play them, but that's like it. Like nobody.
There you go, yeah.
Nobody, like, it's very rare to have that. And I think it's more of an indication of pack odds and people not spending money. Like I think it's the pack odds being that bad.
Well, let's speak on it. We saw Troy Dan spend $10,000.
No, it's ridiculous, and that's why I don't know how it is possible that they can put less than 2% odds. I don't know how that is from a legal standpoint. I know it is, but I don't know how that should be illegal. You should have to put a number on that.
Exactly, that to actually know what the chances are. $10,000 is a lot of money. Obviously, Troy Dan, that is just tax write-off for him. That is
100%. Yeah, but everybody doesn't. No point in talking about that. They don't really know how that goes. But the bigger picture is definitely that. So
at the end of the day, what I want to do is I want to wrap this portion up and then go into another topic. But the 100 overall cards. So let's just finish this. Just wrap this up with a consensus. The consensus idea was that 100 overall cards were a bad idea to implement that early. And if you was going to implement a 100 overall card, it should have been attainable for every single individual with the choice of putting it behind money, whatever it takes, but do not have it to where it's less than 2% of a black hole. We do not know what the percentages are. And we saw the slippery slope of $10,000 potentially having to be spent just to get a 100 overall card. Is there anything else I want to add on top of that, or is that pretty much what it is?
I think just exactly what Ty said and what you brought up. I play a lot of games. Like, I don't stream a lot of games because my audience is obviously on 2K. I play Apex. Apex, if you spend $500, you probably get 2 heirlooms. Heirlooms is basically what would be in the 100 overall. They're very rare. If you spend $500, though, and you are somehow that unlucky that you do not get it, $500 perfectly gets you it. Call of Duty, you can get whatever you want, honestly, as long as you go do whatever you want. I know FIFA's pretty hard because I'm seeing their community basically say the same thing. Mm-hmm. But I just think if you're gonna have it the way you have it, then let's say my content, because it's some people out there, let's say my content is pack pulling. Like, I'm not good at the game. I don't have that much knowledge. people like seeing me entertain while I pull packs.
Mhm.
I do the Troy I do $10,000 and I don't get anything. It should be $500. I get this. At least one dark matter. Or hey, if I spend $1,000 and I get this many of this card, you can lock in this set better than everybody else. But I just think they should find a way to make it more guaranteed because nothing's guaranteed. I can go pull this pack that just came out on Friday, Cerebral. I can go put $500 in. I bet I don't see a dark matter.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. The only way you're gonna see a dark matter is it's this pack that came out today. It's 40% odds on a dark matter. Exactly. 45K VC for a pack is 40% odds on a dark matter. I'm not saying it gotta be that high, but you can't do 5%, 10%. Yeah. Less than 2 is exactly it could literally be 0. Infinity zeros and a 1. So you gotta be the luckiest man on earth. So that's what I say.
And literally, I literally think from a legal standpoint, Splash, it could be 0%.
No, 100%.
I was talking about it in my video. Like, if it's less than 2%, if let's say Tim Duncan wasn't in packs, what can somebody do? It says less than 2%. You wouldn't know.
Exactly.
There's no percent on it.
Yeah. But, and I think that is the because I know we also had to sign a new agreement in February where it's like, hey, you either sign this or you're just not able to play no more.
Do you actually know the reason they put that out? They put that out because they lost a court battle to somebody who talked about gambling from last year. They was in a court battle with somebody for like 6-7 months. Take-Two posted the article and then they like took it off. But the Herb had like reposted and I DM'd him and asked because I wanted the knowledge on it. They like lost in court to like somebody. It was like a 18 or 19-year-old. He had his mom take him to court because he said he can't play the game because it's just gambling. He can't get any of the cards, et cetera, et cetera. And then I say a month later, the TOS came about to where like if you sign this and don't opt out, you can't even take us to court. Basically is what the TOS says. It says a bunch of other stuff that's updated, but it basically says no matter what we do, you can't take us to court.
I didn't read all that. It was like 55 pages. I didn't read it, but I just said whatever, man. Like I think like every single like okay, I don't speak for everybody. I'll speak for myself. Every single time I get on a brand new game since I was a kid, you know, right there in the beginning, it gives you this whole little thing. I should click and go to the next. I'm not reading that shit. Like you just know, you just trusting that your judicial system, the government is going to protect you enough to where it's like you're not going to get some BS. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's just one of the things about being American. He's like, well, you know what? This is a video game. It's rated E. I'm pretty sure they're not going to do
it. Can't be too bad.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just blow right through it on a video game. But now it's crazy to think that, this is the first time. I can't think of another time where a publisher had such a big backlash of, the TOS, right? You know what I'm saying? Because most people just brush right by it and just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, okay, I want to move on to something else. And we knocked on that a little bit. And let's talk about the collection award, okay? Because I know this right here sparked massive outcries because we're talking about a lot of time and effort, a lot of money being put into this, okay? And B, you see what I got on. I'm a diehard Lakers fan, right? I grew up a Laker fan all my life. Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, those are my two, best players ever. We're talking about Kobe that passed. The game is literally all centered around Kobe, okay? So we have this whole element of, and I would say it's more sentimental because for a lot of people at our age group, Kobe is our guy. You know what I'm saying? Kobe's our guy. All right. We are, once again, we go back to the player market. I'm at the play market, the playbook, and they state that the collective reward in April would be Kobe Bryant. Okay. And the day before May 1st, 2K releases a statement saying basically that you're not going to be able to get the Kobe award. You're now going to have the option of getting 200 overalls. Okay. So let's stop right there because there's a second piece of that. Let's get initial reactions. I just want initial reactions. And we'll start with you, Ty. Initial reaction when you saw that.
I wish I could say I would be surprised. But I mean, a week leading up to it, there'd been no words about it. And this is something that is huge. You think 2K would want to make a big deal of it because those are your big spenders.
Yep.
And there's been nothing about it. So the week, I didn't even think, I thought it would still be Kobe. I just didn't think he would be available in April. And then for them to do what they did the day of, I mean, it left me honestly speechless.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Splash?
For those who don't watch Spider-Man, Zendaya said, "Expect disappointment and you'll never be disappointed." Everybody knows I'm negative Nancy of the world. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody was looking at me on stream, and I was just looking back at him, and I was just like, "They like, you not mad?" I'm like, I didn't expect. What I expected to happen is last year it was actually the same thing. It was Dirk though, so nobody really cared. The last collector level was supposed to be obtainable in May. You know when he was obtainable? August 20th. That's when. So like,
Wow.
it was basically the same thing, but like Kobe, Dirk, his game, nobody really cared at that time. So like,
Yeah.
the funny thing is, in the bigger picture, I'll talk from a comp standpoint real quick. The 200 overalls is better than me getting the Kobe. I'm like, it's technically better, but it was the way it was like, thrown out.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what? Let's talk about that then, because you're right. Because again, me, okay, I'm a dumbass, man.
I'm saying I don't disagree with you.
I'm saying this. I didn't even know that there was a Kobe collected award until after there was backlash. I'm a dumbass, but see, again, I didn't like when I say I'm a casual to the knowledge of it. Every single time I went in there, I just saw, I was just like, oh, dang, 1,900 cards. I get to get Thurman. So I'm like, well, I got like 500 more cards to go. I'm never getting Thurman, right? But I was looking at that. So when people was like Kobe, and it's so funny. I remember hitting up some other guys that play my team, and I was like, what the hell are they talking about Kobe? Just like, you idiot. Look at before you press X into the collection, look at the top, and what pack do you see? I said, oh, it's a Kobe pack, right? And it was like, yeah, so when you get 2,000, you're supposed to be able to get Kobe. I said, oh. But then I was like, well, then what type of Kobe were we going to get? 100 overall Kobe? Or was it going to be something else? Because they're offering to give us 200 overall Kobe's. So I was like, I'm confused, man. I'm like, 200 overall Kobe sound better, right? But then I started seeing other people come out, and it was like, yo, you know what? Listen, it's not even about
that's what it was. It's not. Yeah. It's the bigger picture, because like I said, talking from a comp person standpoint, I wasn't even finna get Kobe, because I thought, the way I was thinking, I was like, they gonna put Kobe base on him. He gonna be just Kobe Bryant with soup stats. I'm fine without getting him. When I saw that they was doing 200s, Giannis had just came out, and a few other gas people. I'm like, okay, I'm finna go do it. But like, I can obviously see from the bigger standpoint, I got a couple people who like, I'm gonna keep it a stack. From the beginning of the year to the end, to like, I say when this got announced till April, bro, it take a lot of money to keep up with Collector, bro, because sometimes they just stop dropping. They haven't dropped no free content for us. Everything that you got to get, especially with the shift that they did, and I'll talk on that again and why I agree exactly what y'all say, why I think it was a shift. 2K is never known to just blatantly lie. Listen, I am the most negative person of all time. They don't just blatantly lie how they did this year. That's why I 100% think it was either shifting the higher ups or like, it was just because even when they announced the 100 overalls, they didn't tell us. You had to be in the Discord. I'm not even in that Discord. Yeah. So, like, you had to be in that Discord to figure it out. And somebody posted, and I was like, oh, they capping like usual. And then I went to go see, and it changed. But I'm like, that means they lied about the Kobe. That means they lied about the way the player market was supposed to be. They lied about they were supposed to be bringing some spotlights soon, like 3 months ago. So, like, that's why I just think something happened with the higher-ups that, like, NDAs might be not providing us with information to know, but best way Ty said it, the bigger picture, just to keep a real solemn stance on it. I mean, I'm not really surprised. I mean, it's just 2K being 2K. It just is what it is. I know how hurt people is because this game is literally 2K Kobe Bryant. Mamba moments, Kobe's all over the place. The 6'6", the best build on the game because that's Kobe's height. It's so much you can go into on it, but it's just sad. I feel like I was more saddened for the other people because everybody doesn't really play this game. They can't just go out there and win tournaments. They can't just go enjoy themselves and play the game. Some people wanted to get on the game. I'm finna get this Kobe, and I completed my team. Yeah. Now they're not going to do that. And then you got to keep in mind the downside of it. Kobe's coming out soon. He won't be free, though. That right there, that backlash that's going to happen on that exact day, I probably won't even get on Twitter because it's just going to be that bad.
I went on Twitter and I stated it. I was like, the best thing 2K can do is if this is what they're going to do, you got to release Kobe and it has to be available to everybody to be able to get purchased, right? You can't just put it to where it's in gambling again. Like you can't just next week have 100 overall Kobe smacked in with some like gambling because then that's just going to continue to pile on what's already been a massive pile of shit that 2K has been dealing with. Ty, you have been, I went back and looked at some of YouTube videos. You have been, when this came out, you were fierce. Even your intro you stop in the middle of the intro, like, man, he was like, I'm not even like, nah. Yeah, so you were pissed, right? So now obviously people know about your video. Of course, they can take a look at it, but you can summarize, if you can, in the video, the things that you were stating that really truly pissed you off about that collective reward being shifted.
So the first thing I want to say is every year there's a battle for first collector level. Okay. So let's say I'm a multimillionaire. I see Kobe Bryant is going to be the collector reward. I want the first Kobe Bryant because 2K hypes up the first collector, whatever. Some people, that's what they do. Not only to get the first collector, do you have to collect all the cards. Do you guys realize in season 6, after a pack is gone, you can no longer go and get those cards. So 100 overalls, for example, say a weekend, 100 overall Giannis is out. If you don't get that Giannis, you're probably not going to get the first collector level.
Mm-hmm.
And so people are spending so much money to get this Kobe Bryant. And whether it's for Kobe, whether it's to get the first collector level, whatever it is. And then for them to change it last minute. And like somebody said, 2K might have not known about it until at least a couple of weeks before. But they didn't just change it and figure that out the day of. Like it wasn't that. So it was calculated to continue to get people to spend money. And I think that's what makes me the most mad is they use Kobe Bryant to calculate how they can, make more money. I think that's what made me the most sick. And for somebody who I've seen the top collectors, how much money they've spent on packs in the past.
I don't even want to know. Yeah.
And it's like to hide Kobe behind that and then change it. It's sickening. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely understand exactly what both sides are coming from a competitive standpoint. I know that people are like, okay, cool, I'll take the 200 overalls. But what was funny, though, was that Yao Ming somehow wasn't in that, right?
Of course, though. They have to, like I said, they have to find a way to mess it up. Which it just is what it is. So, like, even if I try to just stay on their side, because when the 100 overall, keep in mind, I didn't know what was in it yet. Yao just came out the past week. And then, so, like, I didn't know what was in it yet. So, I'll go look. Somebody sends me the clip of it and shows me who's in there. I'm like, where's Yao? They're like, who? I'm like, where's Yao? He just came out last week. They like, Yao not in there. Then, if you look at, that's why I say they're just petty. It's the best way to say it. It's like childish. All of the last 3 100 overalls have been our best 100 overalls. You got Yao. You got Tim Duncan with Patrick Mills base, etc. They're not in there. Not at all. But you can go get the 100 overalls they messed up. So, like I said, I just sit back just like this and just be like, hey, I don't know what else you want me to say. And the reason I'll agree with the best way for me to use it is if it was just petty. They been knew that they were not going to meet the quota to give out the Kobe. They didn't have to be petty enough on the 30th of April to say, hey, 100 overalls will be available tomorrow. You can go do whatever you want to do. They could have the day after the playbook, like, we are so sorry. You guys will not be able to get Kobe. We apologize to everybody. Here's the Opal Kobe was still good at the time. Here's a free Opal Kobe locker code. I promise people they wouldn't have been ecstatic, but they would have been like, man, that's some BS. I'll take it though. So I just feel like they don't try hard enough in my eyes. That's why I just think they don't really care about the community at the end of it. That's, like I said, that's a story we could talk about for 5 hours.
Yeah, we only got that much time for it. But okay, so then last tidbit of this, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Do you believe the 200 overalls was a good consolation? Now, keep in mind, I'm understanding, we're going to get to, because the next thing we'll talk about was what Ty's doing right now. But Splash, for you, obviously you said that you were not going to go for it. Now you are going for collector because you see the advantage of it. So let's start with you. Well, I guess we already know. You feel like that's a good consolation, correct?
I feel like it's an okay consolation because I play every tournament. Like, Ty plays his tournament, and he just started playing tournaments again. He's been pretty busy with other stuff. I have played every single tournament from dang near day one. If it starts on Players Lounge, Gamer Saloon, 1UP, every tournament. And I'm playing versus people, like I said, they got 2, 3, 100 overalls in their lineup. I just want to match them. Yeah. You feel me? So, like, for me, as a competitive player, not even just as Splash, as a competitive player, I feel like it was a good consolation. I feel like if you are anything but a competitive player, that is a despicable consolation. They could have did so much better, and nobody really cares about the 2 100s at that point. So that only is helping 1% of the community then.
Yeah, and to kind of go off what Splash said, and my thing with collector level is most of the time people that go for collector level aren't competitive, and so yeah, for like the rare competitive players, I think it's awesome, it's fantastic, but it just ruined the whole point of what it was supposed to be this year, in my opinion. So I for me, I don't personally think it is, but I get like from a competitive side how you like it. Like for me, like let's say 250 was tomorrow. Sure, I'd love it, man. I'd love it, but it's just not what it was supposed to be.
Okay, now let's talk about you, Ty. And then I'll mix Splash in this too. But Ty, you have done something that I recently, because again, like I said, looking at your YouTube videos, was like, whoa. This
is what I do. I applaud him. I applaud him every day for it. He is a legend for that. Exactly.
As a competitor, you have won you have won tons and tons of money. You won $500,000 worth of money, and you refused to gamble. Hell, you refused the gambling so much, you don't even put gambling cards in your top 10 rankings. Okay? Now, and to me, I'm looking like, okay, this man is so furious that he's willing to not only lose money, right? Because you're losing money for this. We know that. And you stated in one of your videos, you were losing money. We all know. We're all creators. We have YouTube, right? We know certain things that people want to see, right? People want to see these galaxies right now, these dark matters, and, try them out. That's what you do. Both of y'all, you testing them out. People want to see that. That's how you get views. Your top 10s, you are completely taking out the gambling cards, right? And so you're losing money on top of that. But then another thing is that in your tournaments, you are heavily at a disadvantage, right? Speak on that, my man. Speak on that. What was the decision in that, brother?
Yeah, so initially when it happened, I was like, you know what? Like, I thought the All-Star was just gonna be a one-time thing. I was like, whatever. Like, it is what it is. It's an All-Star special. Whatever. Then it started becoming consistent, and I'm like, man, nah, something's got to change. Like, this is not gonna happen. That was after 3 weeks, and I was like, I can't support it. And then we're going on 2 months, 3 months actually now. And I'm like, nothing I do is going to change. But it's like, if I do a top 10, okay, what am I supposed to do? Because most people watching this don't have those cards.
Yeah.
They can't go and buy them. Mm-hmm. It just has ruined everything about my channel. But yeah. I'd rather stand and support the right thing. And the thing that's sickening to me is I don't think 2K understands what's going on. Like, I genuinely don't. Like, I reached out to a dev and they're like, well, because I was like, I'm for me, like, content wise, this is what I'm doing right now. Is it fine? Sure. But it's not what I want to, it's not growth wise. It's not, I'm down cutting half of what it was last year. Yeah. And they're like, well, what's going on? Like, why are you not doing the new gameplays? I'm like, do we not see what's going on here? The community has to gamble to get certain cards. It ruins the whole top 10s. It ruins the whole gameplays because nobody can no longer watch my top 10s and see, oh, number 4 is the Galaxy or the Dark Matter Devin Booker. Let me go get him. No, he's not available. Yeah. And so it's like, for me, I'm not spending $1 on 2K packs forever. I'm just not until they change things. It's not healthy. It's not sustainable. It's not good for anybody. And that's just where I'm at. Am I losing money? Yeah, but I guess I'm saving a couple $100 a month in pack money.
That is true. That is true. Now, Splash, you're on the other side of it. You're like, man, look, man, you're competing. You're buying all the packs. You're doing whatever you're supposed to do. And again, there's no right or wrong answer in this. Everybody has their own truth. Right?
I actually where do you stand on that? I feel like it is. I feel like it is a right or wrong answer. Ty's talked to me off the camera. He comes to my stream like, "Oh no, you're not," etc. So like we're obviously playful about it. But I talked to my girl about it because I explained it to her. She understood it real good. And then I basically was just like, "Listen, I'm gonna spend $50 every Friday because this is what I would have been spending prior to the whole change." I either get the card I want, I don't get the card I want. Now, if one of my supporters from my stream, hey, $50 here, you get to pull it. I'm not going to pull all 50. I'm going to pull like 25, but, pocket the rest. But every single Friday, unless it's just a completely dog water drop, I'm gonna just spend $50. When I get to collector, I'm done spending money for sure. That was my thing that I told her. As soon as the 200 overalls, I could literally get her up here and you can ask her. Yeah. I said, I'm gonna spend money. When I get the 200 overalls, I'm done for the rest of the year. Either I'm gonna keep that same lineup, or hey,
I'm putting it in my nose, Splashy. I'm putting it in my nose, bro.
I promise you gonna come in there like, still the same amount of VC as a month ago. I will not be spending any more money. My 100 overall should actually be getting obtained either later today or tomorrow. So after that, I'm done with it. They've won the battle. They won't win the war, hopefully, but it just is what it is on that. And then in the long run, like I said, we're content creators, etc. I'm gonna make the money. That $50 I spent the last 6 weeks is gonna get made back if I make finals of OTO or win 2 PLs, whatever. So that's basically my stance on it. But I do think like I'm a grown man. I'm wrong in this 100%, especially with the audience I have and me pulling packs. Now let's say Demi, you watch me. I splash pulling packs. It's cool. Or like Splash not pulling packs. Oh, I'm dang sure not pulling packs. So like it just is what it is. So I'll make sure. Literally, I'm gonna be dropping a YouTube video. I already talked to my editor about it. Like soon as I get the 100 overalls, I've obtained the 100 overalls. I'm no money spent for the rest of the year. So that's just where I'm at on it, though.
Okay, cool. That makes sense. So that's crazy to say that people in your streams will actually kind of use you like a slot machine. They'll just be like, look, here, put 50. Go again. So,
I'm not going to lie. You be surprised, bro.
So they're using you to fuel their gambling addiction, huh?
Mm-hmm. And it's so bad this year too. Not even for people who watch me. I've watched certain people or talked to certain people. It's like certain people. Like I won't say the person's name. Like he literally said he'll spend 200 every single week if they have a card that he doesn't get, and he has not gotten to one person. But he did just get blessed. Like I said today, it was it's the promo packs. It's 40%. He got every card he hadn't got. He said he's done spending money. So I think most people is just. The problem with it is, and my side is, and you can ask everybody, I'm always gameplay with it. I usually don't care about the content. Like, I usually let Ty, DBG, etc. handle the content purposes. I just get the card, I do the gameplay, and we go hoop with them. So, like, with the gameplay being the way it is in my team alone, some people feel like you have to pull packs.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that's exactly what 2K wants. We're not going to change the gameplay. We're not going to drop you guys any content. So you're either going to load up our game mode and do nothing, or you're going to load up our game and do the only thing you can do. So like I said, that's where I agree with Ty and say they don't know what's really going on right now, and that's the problem.
Okay, and then this goes to my next question. All right, and it's pulling packs, okay? Pulling packs has basically been like to me, I look at Unlimited for all modes, Madden, FIFA, that have the packs full. It kind of pulls on the strings of us for me as a child collecting cards, right? If I go to Walmart right now and I want to get some cards, I'm pulling packs not knowing what's in there, but I'm hoping I get a card, right? So now with the state of we have right now with my team, how would you define pulling packs, right now? Good thing, bad thing? Where's your stance on pulling packs right now? Or should it just be straight player market? These are the cards you can get, purchase these and you get a card straight up. Because I've seen some people in the comment section saying, heck no, man. Like, I want to pull packs. I like the adrenaline rush I get of, all these failures and then finally getting one, right? But to me, I feel like that is like straight up gambling, right? But I sit there and think like, well, damn, that is, I do buy packs still. I collect cards still personally. And I'm like, dang, you know what? I do be buying like $400 packs and stuff, hoping that I got a card in there, and I don't know what it is anyway. So then, sometimes it plays with your emotion because you're thinking about like what I do in real life when it comes to card collecting, and then what does a video game does with card collecting. And I'm gonna say this last thing, and then I'll get to y'all. But me, I'm a grown adult using my money, making my decisions. 2K is a rated E game, so anybody theoretically from 18 and under can play. And I will 100% state I got a 10-year-old son that is literally pissed off at me because I don't let him play my team because I don't want him to get into that mindset that you have to open up packs.
Talk on that too.
So again, let's just now throw it to y'all. What is y'all thought process of all these years of opening packs? Where do you stand right now of opening packs, and what do you think the solution should be to that?
Go ahead, Splashy.
I think as of right now, like I said, I'm not a pocket watcher. If you got the money, you're a grown ass man. I can't tell you what to do. But I think the best thing that us as like grown people could do. My girlfriend's little brother is in love with my team. I told him if he ever spends any money, I swear to God he won't play it no more. Like this whole year since he started playing around All Star, he's new to it though. He's still smiling, etc. And I'm like, you can't do this. But I think at maximum, you should just do the lock in. You go with what you go with. You go from there. You can do the exchange. A lot of people get really comfortable from the exchange. For people who don't know what the exchange is, you can put 2 pink diamonds in or a pink diamond and an opal. You have a chance at a dark matter. We don't know the odds of it. You either get lucky or you don't, obviously. But I just think you shouldn't really be pulling packs unless there's like a bigger reason. You're a content creator. That's what gets your dope going. You're playing comp. You're pulling to get this card because you need them to beat Tydebo. Yeah. That if it's no higher reason and you're just pulling packs because you're pulling packs, at that point you might as well go downtown to your nearest casino. You feel me? Yeah. I just think that's what you should do because it is the same thing. So I just think at max you should be doing a lock in, and that's why I wish they would add an option pack to the lock in because everybody would just get who they want for. It's not $50 no more. I think it's like $80, but it is what it is.
How about you, Ty?
I think the bigger thing for me is it's like 2K in their TOS has basically said your account is worthless. That's what they've basically said. That way, if there's any court battles, like whatever, they can tell you that your account's not worth anything. So my thing is, why is anybody gambling, number one, hundreds of dollars to pull a virtual card that is worthless? If you're pulling packs in real life, card collected, those cards have value. My brother, he's bought some cards and he does that a little bit. That, and for some people, is investing. It's a hobby. It's whatever. And yeah, is it gambling and you're probably not going to get return on your investment for some of those packs? Yes, absolutely. But it's not for a worthless thing.
Yeah.
It's not for a thing that literally is worthless. What are you going to do with those cards?
And here we go. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You pull 100 overall Tim Duncan. What are you doing with that card? It's not like, let's say you buy a $400 pack. You pull something really good. Now you have something that's valuable. You pull 100 overall Tim Duncan. One out of every, let's say, 10,000 packs. That card is worthless. So even if it does get you that high or like that rush for whatever, and you enjoy it's just not. It's worthless. It really is. So I think that's the bigger thing for me is like it's promoting worthless gambling, like worse than even gambling, in my opinion.
Exactly. And this goes again. We're just gonna keep rolling to the right direction. Y'all just keep it coming, man. What ideal I thought in my mind, because again, this is my first year playing my team, and I was absolutely in shock that everything you do in 24 becomes shit when it comes in 25. Right?
It's always been
so
like
you
that
spend
too.
all that money, get all this stuff, and then in 25, none of them cards transfer over. Nothing happens, right? So then my idea was like, okay, well, let's find a way to where you put in all this time and effort, you get benefited by that by going into 25, right? How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all think that there's a space for that to where, it's not what, like you're saying, it's just 100% worthless, right? You're grinding all these cards. Maybe you get a nice little collection. Maybe have like a nice little virtual card slots that you have that you are guaranteed to roll over into 25. Maybe they give you like 10 slots and these cards can roll 25. Not trying to say you start 25 off with the cards, but maybe it's a rollout that you get the benefit of. These are my cards that I've collected, I worked hard for, and I'm able to keep these cards forever. And then when 26 come, you keep on adding that collection. Now you got 20 cards that you can keep rolling over to where it doesn't feel like, because to me, I feel like I'm just wasting damn money on that. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's an absolute waste, right? And that's why I push for in Park to always have something to where we have to roll over. First it was, you got shoes, you got this, you got moralized. So really a big thing in Park is you get moralized, you got your name up there. What do y'all think about that take? It's like, Uncle Demi, you're a complete idiot. Like that doesn't make any sense. Or is there some validity to that?
I just don't think 2K can make it happen. Does it make sense in a way? Yeah, but we have this saying lately in the MYTeam community, you're just making a little bit too much sense for 2K at the moment. So I think the only thing that they would be capable of is pushing your MT from one game to the next game. But let's say I'm like Ty and I haven't spent money in 3 months, he has 1.5 million MT. They're not letting him start next game with
2.8.
Yeah, big flexer. You feel me? They're not letting
Yeah.
him come into 2K25 with 2.8 million. So like, I just think the thing is, if they let the cards push over, how many people are gonna have those cards? And let's say if you get to the collector level option pack, you get the Giannis and the whoever you pick, you get the best version of their card when the next game comes out. Like usually they'll start off with like an amethyst or something. How many people really has that though? Like 100, 200, 1,000, or whatever. Like way less actually, but still. So I just don't think they'll be able to make that happen. So they usually give us some BS at the end of the year. It'd be like a game 21. You get some Grinches next year. You get like a gold card. Like that's usually what they do. So like I think they're trying, but like they won't be able to do that.
How about you, Ty?
No, I feel like if they were able to do it, it would be just with MT and VC. But like Splashy said, like even at the end of the year, everybody basically crashes out with their MT, like because you have nothing else to spend it on because it can't roll over. So let's say I have 3 million MT at the end of the year. It stinks. I grinded so hard for that MT for what? Like that's the whole thing. Or even if you spend packs, you have this great account for what? And I get having the cards, having fun playing the game. I get that, but right now you can't even play with the cards you want. Like you can't even spend the MT on the cards you want. But yeah, from year to year, I wish they would do at least VC. I don't even think they do VC.
So just a rollover of MT or VC for the year.
I
like that too. I like that idea.
Think that would be the most realistic. So.
You know what I mean? Maybe restrict the amount of cards that you can actually trade in and sell, right? And still have the MT that you can go ahead and roll over into the next one. Because I'm not going to lie, I go back on 2K20, 21, and I see like all this MT VC that is literally just sitting there. And even though it's considered virtual currency, I did use real currency to purchase that virtual currency. So that would be nice to be able to have, at least if you can't roll over cards, at least have my VC roll over from game to game. Okay?
Actually, I got one more thing to say. Sorry to cut you off. On MLB right now, they have this thing where you can go grind for these cards, but you can only use them until the next season. So like another thing they could be able to do, which I think would be pretty easy, like, okay, you can roll over these cards into 2K25, but you can only use them for 15. How free agent cards work, but not by games, but by days. So, like, you can get a head start on your account if you did this on 24. Like, you can go get this Giannis, you can go get this Steph Curry, you can go get this Anthony Edwards, and you can start off with this, but they expire in 15 days. So, I hope you make the maximum from the 15 days. But instead of starting with gold Earl Boykins, I'm starting with Ruby Anthony Edwards. You feel me? So, like, I feel like that would be a little bit better. I know MLB does something like that, so, like, that's why that came to my head.
I think that would be a great idea. I'm not going to lie. Like, these are some great ideas putting forth, and hopefully you never know, man, because 25 will have the opportunity to implement that. We still have ample amount of time to be able to do that. All right. I want to do some, like, rapid fire because we have, like, 30 minutes left. I want to do rapid fire, okay? Nothing, like, just nothing long-winded. Let's just shoot down this list and see what we have. All right. Salary cap mode. Was it a success or a failure?
Last 2 seasons, I would say it's been decent because of the rewards, but
yeah, prior to these last 2 seasons, dog water. But these last 2 seasons, 2 top cards at their position, amazing.
Okay. Also, will say for the casuals, no longer have draft. Salary cap should be the mode they play.
Awesome. So, do you think that salary cap? How do you think that's probably a more popular mode amongst people, or do you think? Okay.
But they should take the skill based matchmaking out of salary. They added it like 2-3 seasons ago, and it's getting really bad. I don't think game modes like salary cap should have skill based matchmaking. But other than that, like I said, if I was to tell the little brother I was talking about to play, he could go play salary cap. I feel like it's a little less sweaty. It's sweaty on some days though. But
hell,
like,
hey,
last stay out of it during those days though. That's because
Mutombo?
it's some,
yep.
Yeah, it's Mutombo dang near the best big
Hey,
on the
I
game.
saw him
Stay
on my
out- stay
Twitter
out there.
feed. I was on my Twitter feed. And people were like, man, what the hell, man? Salary cap so damn sweaty, bro. Y'all
That's
ain't
what I'm
getting
saying.
because
I'm not
everybody
gonna
wanted Mutombo.
I lost 2 games. I haven't lost a game in salary all year. I lost 2 games on stream on salary, and I was sweating. That's how I knew I was like, you know what? Let's lock in. So other than that, I've liked salary the last two blocks that we've had.
Okay, let's talk about triple threat co-op. That was new this year. Success, failure. What's your take on that?
I think for the casuals, again, it's okay. It's not a mode I play, so it's hard for me to really say. But like when I was, let's say in high school and a bunch of my buddies wanted to play MYTeam, I think it's a decent option for that. Mm-hmm.
They
Splash?
should implement it into like team up. You know how y'all know how team up works. It should
Yeah.
They should let you like. What I do think they should do. I play co-op a lot though. Well, did until the rewards got trashed. They should let you play with 5 people, and just the reward should be a little bit better. I feel like for all of the answers, I'm gonna probably answer the same. That's why I like salary cap so much. Co-op, like the last time somebody from co-op played was never, because
Yeah.
like you never go get that card and like put them in unless you like go gas them up because you're using a free card. So I
D'Angelo
think the
Russell
reward
right
should be
now.
better.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
think anybody's really getting
Nobody
excited by
wants
D'Lo.
him.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
exactly.
saying.
I don't
So
think
I
that.
think just fix the rewards, and I feel like the casuals still have fun playing that though. But co-op is something you kind of move by. You don't really load that up, honestly, for real, unless you just bored.
Okay. When it comes to the season pass, right? Success, failure for the season pass, and then I want to tag something else on. They did recently transition the last 3 season passes. They, if you bought the pro pass, they gave you different animations. So I know this is supposed to be rapid fire, but I know y'all might have a little bit more say on that because that was not initially stated, because it was supposed to be that the season passes was never going to be giving you performance advantages in the games.
Animations weren't supposed to be locked behind
So,
them was the first statement they said.
There you go. So let's talk about that. Season pass, success, failure. What is your takes on those?
I think I like the concept of it. Because like even for me, like I haven't spent money on packs, but $10 a season for me, like I get a bunch of extra VC, I get a bunch of extra MT, other stuff. I don't even think they needed the 6 to change. That's the craziest thing. Like I think there was $10 worth of value with the other stuff. They didn't even need to do that. Plus, you get a good card to start with. So I actually like it. I don't think they need to even change the 6.
Okay. How about you, Splash?
Rework it. I'm more talking from the park standpoint. I feel like when I load up the level 40 and look, you get nothing, honestly. Like in my team, you usually get something. Like you'll get like option pack, you'll get some VC, some MT, you get a good card. But even my con in my team is, and they've been doing this since the beginning of the year, it turns it into, it's only like $10 low key, but like it turns it into a form of pay to win, just a smaller version of it, because beginning of the year, you'll have Kyrie who can get every badge on the game, and then you have Kyrie and you can't put anything on him. You have Will who can get every badge on the game. You got Will, he can't get anything. The last one, you have SGA, best dribble style on the game, good fade. Then you have SGA, jump shot still on normal. You're added liability if you use him and don't spend the $10. But I feel like it just needs to be reworked. I love the idea of it, but I feel like it should be stuff that you're looking forward to. Hey, if I get level 6, I get this. Not what did they give y'all last season? A pick in the Afro for like level 12 or something. Like that's despicable.
Yeah, like I said, Parkside is a lot different than the my team
it's way worse. My team, it has a way better rollover than the Parkside. The Parkside is really bad. I load up and look at that literally as soon as I get to level 40, and I be like, wow, nice.
Now, okay, so they patched the option of backdooring. From holding triangle to the option they have now. That was I would say that was definitely split down the line. Some people were heavily pissed off about that, and other people were thoroughly excited about that. I would like to get y'all take on that. What should they have patched that and changed it, or should they kept it the same?
Go ahead, Splashy.
I'll actually let Backdoor Man talk on this first.
So like any game, there's always some workarounds to stuff. So I mean, if you know what you're doing, you still can back cut like the same. But for like the casuals, they took it away. So I mean, the thing with me is like spacing is so messed up on this game. So
that's what I've been saying.
it's like if I'm running a pick and roll on the right wing and somebody already on the right wing, I need to be able to send them on a back cut. So I think the bigger situation at hand is defenders need to be able to guard the back cut. Like nobody should be able to call a back cut and they just go right by you. That's not how it works in real life. So just fixing that animation, I think would solve a lot of issues, not necessarily, being able to call back cuts.
Splash.
I feel like it only really hurt the casuals because me personally, I never even backdoored with that button. I backdoors a completely different way. But the thing is, the thing that it kind of helped if you run backdoors, you actually backdoor faster now. And if you know how to cancel the actual pass animation, you backdoor faster now post-patch than they did. But like I said, I'm always really big on what can you do to stop it. The problem I have with it is you obviously have your off-ball pressures. If I put my play, like this game is supposed to be realistic. Let's speak from a realistic standpoint. We're playing basketball right now, right? Ty steps 5 steps off of me. I'm at the right wing. He is 5 steps off of me. Demi says, yo, Splash, backdoor. I should not. This is literally like an NFL. And everybody's not Tyreek Hill, you feel me? Let's talk about a slower receiver, obviously. Where I got Ben Simmons blowing by the quickest player on the game, but you're playing 5 steps off Ben Simmons because he's Ben Simmons. Still a wide open backdoor. That's just pitiful. On that gameplay. Like, the backdoors can stay, but like, and then what makes it worse is, I mean, the lanes don't make it any better. You barely can steal the pass. So like, I'm playing 4 steps off of him, and I can't steal the pass. So I don't really think it's the backdoors. I just think the mechanics are just. But if we get in the gameplay, this not gonna be rapid fire no more because I'm gonna be talking for hours.
Hey, we gotta keep it rapid fire, man. We're down to 20 minutes. So okay, Ty, I swear to God, you're like looking off my list. So you spoke about spacing. Should the courts be bigger? In my team.
Yeah, but
Power DF said something. Sorry, cut you off. Power DF made a good comment. He said either make the floors bigger or the player models smaller. So there we go. It can be either or. Floors bigger, player model smaller. What's your take?
I think the floor bigger is I think a good solution. The one thing I'll say is like defensively for me, man, I could be in the right spots, but like Splash said, they don't steal the ball. So like even with the spacing issues, it's not as impactful as it should be. So bigger courts, but more defense. That's my mindset.
Okay, Splash.
The way I sound it is I feel like the spacing being bad, and this is my biggest thing on anything. I talked to Cesar, he put the new freelance in. The freelances like just don't work. But I don't really think it's because. So I feel like when the spacing is bad, it makes the game look worse in other aspects because Ty doesn't like bailout, but like I come off left wing, I think I got a shot. My corner rises up. I gotta get rid of that ball now because it's no longer open. So it's making you show that something else in the game is way more broken because you gotta bail out so much in my team right now.
Damn,
it's so bad because you have to bail out so much. But I don't think it has to do as much with the spacing as it has to do with the passing angles are bad too. You can get a rebound off the fast break and throw a 94-foot pass, and you can steal it like just let me get that from you. Yeah. So I think the passes need to be better and the court needs to be bigger. But with that, and I'm an offensive supremacist, so like, and I understand that, but then the lanes need to be almost perfect.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it should find a way to be balanced because right now there is almost no way for you to get a stop without getting a turnover, and it's so hard for you to get a turnover because I think the defense on the game is good right now, but they'll still score. I can play 24 seconds of defense. You're going to get the rebound, and we're going to restart this possession. So make the court bigger, make the lanes better, make the passes wider or better, like just throw the ball like you want to get rid of it.
Okay. And should all players in my team be able to hold badges? Get all the badges?
Not at the beginning, I don't think. Now at this stage, yeah, but at the beginning of the game, no, I don't need a Giannis with a half catch and shoot and all those crazy things.
I feel like it turns it pay to win because they dropped on Black Friday. They dropped 5 sets of 64 Hall of Fame badges. So we had diamonds in the game at the time, and you could just go throw all your Hall of Fame badges on your diamonds. So now Giannis isn't Giannis; he's Klay Thompson. Now Steph isn't Steph; he's etc. So I actually said this a long time ago. I think it's kind of both ways. Strategy wise, I think you should be able to add badges, but it shouldn't be everybody can get every badge. I think only certain types of players should get certain type of badges.
And that's what I wanted.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to get in that real quick again, so I want to do rapid fire. But for instance, what I'm saying is that should Shaquille O'Neal be able to, regardless of where he's at as overall, should he be able to have limitless, on Hall of Fame and be able to shoot like the way he shoot? I know some people look at it and just like, bro, like why can't we just get the best version of Shaquille O'Neal, right? Just get 2001 Shaquille O'Neal and make that be the premium of like the in-game or whatever Shaq is, and then you work backwards there from Shaq, right?
The best way to explain it is nobody would use him. Okay. Because if you have Shaq 25 3-ball on this video game, and I can go get David Robinson 94 3-ball, I'm going to get David Robinson, or the most popular center in my team. I can go get KP 99 3, 99 rebound. I'm going to take KP every single time. So I think it's a sense of realism, but like it's my team.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
you like the fantasy. You like the fantasy element of being able to get any player that can do everything.
I think it should just go off the attribute thresholds that my players go off of. If Shaq has an 83, he shouldn't be able to get Hall of Fame limitless. If Shaq gets his 99 3 100 overall card, he can get every badge because everybody's not going to have that. But I can't make a 6'3" guard with 60 dunk and get half poster. So Steph shouldn't get half poster with 70 dunks. That's kind of how I feel.
I know what Splash is talking about because in 2K19 he loved when I ran Shaq at point guard at the end of the year. But no, that's what I had the most fun is when I could run Giannis and Shaq at my point guards. I mean,
okay, so
I feel like realism in my team is just
too much.
I don't know. Or even like 2K17, you could shoot with T-Mac from half court. Like that's to me, that's fun. That's fun.
Perfect. Yeah, I feel like you gotta separate fun from realism. I feel like realism, you go play now online, you go do this, you go do that. My team, I'm not saying it should be just Shaq shooting from half court in September, but come April, I mean, they're not gonna make money by dropping a 0-1 Shaq 25-3 because nobody's gonna use them basically.
Makes sense. Off balling, good or bad for my team?
Well, honestly, and this is a really hot take. Well, actually, I don't think it's that hot. On balling is way better than off balling this year because of the glove and the right stick ripper are the two best badges on the game right now. People who play Park or any other game mode should obviously understand that. Off balling, really, you can't steal the ball, so I would love to play off baller. Now, I also have it's two separate off balling. It's corner sitters, and those are the people who I'm sitting on my phone. Demi, Tydebo, go get a stop. I'm just in the corner. And then it's the off ball where you're active. I'm hedging the screen for myself. I'm pinching. I'm clicking off. I'm clicking on, etc. But I feel like as long as it's not corner sitting, you have to off ball because, like we said, the AIs, they just don't listen to what you want. You got AIs jumping out to play. They're reaching out to play. They're not boxing out. I got to go make up for that. And I can't make up for that if I just am reaching at you every play.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like the game used to be more fun when you had to, or not had to, but when everybody did on ball. But I mean, again, like everybody got so good at exploiting that, like even back cuts. If you have to on ball this year, you're never going to get a stop because you can't defend a back cut, pick and roll. You're not going to be able to play defense. So it's like you got to. I would say, like Splash said, off balling this year, like in like rotating, like you're not going to get those steals. So like playing defense is hard this year because you do have to on ball way more than ever before.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, and then two more questions here. The $250,000 tournament, it was taken away. What is y'all take on that? And then how do y'all feel about the new rollout that they did with 2K with the I can't remember the name of the company.
The one-up tourney?
Yeah, the one-up tourneys.
What is one-up tourney was the most unprofessional tournament I have ever participated in myself. I have played a lot of tournaments, local, college, esports, etc. The most unprofessional tournament. That would be we'd have to talk off the record on that because I don't want to just fully slander them because I'm cool with one up. It's just the way it was ran was just pitiful. And it was because of 2K's side that will take two side that it turned into what it was. But I think 250 should be back because my team is making them the most money. Supposedly. Park makes a lot of money, but if they're not going to put it back in the prom or okay, the best of both worlds, put a tournament in every game mode, 50K, 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 you can run multiple. I think they make enough money to do that, but I think the 250K should be back in my team. I think it revived the MYTeam game mode from dying really well. So,
Ty, how about you? Do you think the 250 should be back, or do you like the one up?
Well, I think it could be both. I think when 2K ran things, that's when things got way too dicey. I mean, even at the start of this year, they tried blacklisting us from even playing. Take-Two did. So I'm a firm believer until 2K is willing to work with the community. For the betterment of the mode that's with 250, that's just with the entire game mode. It's not gonna be bad, or it's not gonna be good, the game mode. But I'd love for 250 to be back. But again, for that to happen, 2K needs to work with the community because otherwise, I mean, I can't see it going well.
Was you amped from this for both of y'all? Did it kill kind of the the competitive juices, knowing that the 250 was gone? It's like, well, dude, what am I really playing for? Like I'm playing these little smaller side tournaments. Or was it like, okay, cool, there's more tournaments now, right? There's more in the one up compared to just one big one. What's y'all take on?
I more say the reason so I don't really play now, so I just wish they would have ran on my team tournament. I ended up getting good at it in qualifying, but I really don't like that game mode. Me being me, because he's like I said, he's the more humble one. I'm like the opposite. I was gonna make finals again, and I'm trying to get my lick back. I don't think you understand. I'm just trying to get my revenge from 21 and meet him in the finals again. And if they take away the tournament, I can't do that. So the side tournaments is cool or whatever, but it just makes you ease out on the game mode a lot more. Like, I'm not really super sweating the game. I'm not labbing. I'm not figuring out every glitch on the game anymore. I'm just kind of just going through the motions. Whatever happens, happens. So
have y'all played more? Have y'all played more play now than y'all did years before because of the way that since the 250's been going?
My play now hours was crazy this year.
I was gonna say, I think I probably played more than Splash too. Like, I played every PL play now. I still to this day am probably better at play now than my team. Like, people think I'm bad at my team, and I'm like, I don't play it. Like, the money isn't there. So like, that's for me, like, my biggest adjustment is I've spent so many hours in play now instead of my team. I didn't enjoy it as much, but it's like that's
so
what
it took you away from my team. It took you away from that game mode and put you back into play now. Right, for both of you.
Because where the money was at.
Exactly.
And as comp players, even though we both content creators, that's what we looking at. Wherever the money at, that's where you're supposed to go. I used to wake up every day. He was playing, the person he played in the finals, him versus Rello, we called the UNC versus Duke. That's what we called their rivalry in the chats. I wake up 2:30 in the morning, Demi. Man, how live? What's he doing? And they on game number 9. He been streaming for 4 hours. So like that's where I say with that.
Okay, cool. And then the last question. Like, let's talk about it. Right? We're going to just real quick. We got like some time here. We got like 5-6 minutes to talk about this. Next makers. All right. I know Ty, you had a lot of input on what you thought about the next makers. I think that's the best way I can say it. You had a really, really good opinion about it. I think I was shocked to see that I was actually in it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in it. Right? He's talking about me. Right. So yeah, I mean, it's no secret. I am, the leaders of the next makers. I know there's a lot of I guess you can say like a lot of people have a thought about what a next maker is and what type of authority and a power that we have and what type of input that we have. But I want to get for Ty, I think it just makes sense since, we're here. What is your big gripe with the next makers? And then Splash, I'll let you go next.
I think the biggest gripe, and you could tell me if I'm completely wrong, but from what I've heard and the people that have been in it, it's not a program that's going to benefit the game, because if you have feedback that's negative consistently with the game mode, they don't want that. In my opinion, 2K wants people that are yes men. So for example, there's one guy in the community that was buddy with me. Okay. Buddy wanting to come see me.
That's what I'm going to talk about.
All this stuff was one of my main supporters in my stream. Asked for host constantly, and literally was my best friend.
Who are you talking about?
Moment I got, hey, that's for y'all.
Hey, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But the moment I got banned from MT for buying MT, never heard from him again. Okay. Not once. When on a daily he was messaging me. So it's like what are next makers really? Like, okay. That's to me. Are they people that want to benefit the community, or are they people that want to eventually work for 2K and want to better themselves? Like, I don't know. I like that
question. I think that's a good question to back in. I'll answer that question for you personally. So right after I get a response from Splash. Splash, what do you have to say on that?
Mine isn't as close as it, but I had 2 next makers. One is the exact same as him, asking me for a host every day. It wasn't in a begging manner though. He used to come off like as cool. We used to have some conversations. We was chilling, but like, I'd say it wasn't even the moment I got banned. It was like it's like he already knew he was going to get banned or something. When I say I have not spoke to him again, and the thing, it wasn't even about that. I could care less. I know people that I'm cool with every day I don't talk to no more. It was the fact that when that ban thing happened, I don't care what side you were on, it was only one right side. You could play devil's advocate with it, but like, you need to tell them like that they did wrong, or at least say, this is pitiful by 2K.
Yeah. He
did not post a tweet until the next week. They dropped packs. It was called Stellar. Easy to get whoever you wanted. We had never had no easy packs. Everybody got those packs when all of us was banned. They dropped Stellar packs. This is a W. He didn't say nothing about me and Ty getting banned. And me and Ty was cool with him. Yeah. He didn't say a word. Then fast forward to this year, when the packs and stuff happened, nothing. Not a word has been said from either one of those two. And then it just makes me feel like the Next Maker program is a bunch of riders at that point. And not riding the right way, you feel me? You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, trust me, I understand.
That's what it come down to, and that's why I say I just think it needs to be reworked, because I don't feel like they're doing what they're supposed to do. If I don't know who's controlling them, I don't know who's making them not talk to us, but like, you can easily talk to me or just tell me, hey, I'm not allowed. I'm not gonna say it, but like, hit me up and say I'm not allowed to blah 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 Skippy. So I just feel the way that was done made me just Next Makers is just done to me.
Okay.
Last thing I'll say before you go, Demi, is this what I'll leave? I want to say is, I don't take away the me buying MT situation. I do not think 2K would want me in the next maker system, and I think that's an issue.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. Okay. So I'll say this first. First and foremost, next makers only goes but so high within the hierarchy of the 2K. So next makers falls within like the community side of things, right? So the creators within next makers, there is within a pecking level. So you do have 2 leaders within that next maker, and we are, everybody knows Lily and myself, we are privy to a lot of stuff that other next makers aren't, right?
Of course.
Okay, so that's just kind of obvious. And very heavily NDA'd all the way around that. The other next makers that come into that pool, without giving too much, because I know I can only say but so much, that pool was just, it was too many next makers in there. And next makers should be transactional, okay? Basically meaning like, what can 2K do for me? And then what can you do for 2K, okay? And to me, that's where things kind of got lost in the mix, because a lot of people within the next makers, they kind of came with their hands out, expecting free codes and expecting this, expecting that, and didn't want to put in no work. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's one thing that I want to put out there. And what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that a lot of the people that were next makers should not have been next makers. Simply put, right? They weren't making dope content. They weren't lit. They weren't doing things, right? It is what it is. You know, I became the next maker. I was hosting these huge tournaments, you know, within the 2K community. 2K liked that. So the following year, they was like, yo, Demi, can we pick that up? We want to put these in our channels. You know what I'm saying? We want to run, we like your tournaments that you're running. That was a transaction. You see what I'm saying? You giving 2K something, giving some 2K something back. A lot of people think next makers mean that you have input on the game. That is 1,000,000% false. Very small group of people that have an input on the game, right? And even that input on the game, we all know, just because you have a thought, you have an idea, that does not mean it gets implemented, right? For obvious reasons. 2K has tons and tons of information and data that they run tracks through to make sure that they're trying to play this whole politics of what, you know, like the big wigs up top one and what, you know, they feel like can be done in the game. It's just a lot of different variables being washed around. People assume that just because you're a next maker, you get ample benefits. And again, that's not true. You see a lot of people that come in the next makers and they get kicked out. They like, yo, they ain't do nothing for me. I didn't get nothing. I didn't do this and that. The only thing I got was a code, right? That is true, but it's also what you put into it. So there's a lot of channels within next makers that help with like branding, help with physical fitness. Like there's a lot of channels in there that did so much more than just trying to, what I think a lot of people expected was, oh, I'm about to be a next maker. They're about to help blow me up. I'm about to be the next big thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case. Okay. So I feel like there was a lot of miscommunication in that. A lot of, when you get disgruntled people that get out and then they feel like, of course, when they speak things, right, it's going to be negative energy. How many people you seen had a bad experience and then turn around and be like, give a good review on a restaurant or something like that, right? So it's not necessarily, I'm not trying to say that they're all wrong, but you're going to get out of it what you put into it. You see what I'm saying? But I want to make it known, because I know a lot of people's going to watch this, is that next makers, you do not get to test the game out just because you're a next maker. You don't get ample input into the game just because you're a next maker. You have to go through the same channels as every other person on the video game. You literally have to go to the public Discord and put in a thought, that are able to put in, that have suggestions that aren't next makers. You got to understand this. VIP members aren't all next makers. I feel like it's kind of like a handful of next makers, and then a lot of people you would probably jaw hit the ground when you realize. And I think a lot, and it's sad because I think it's came to a point where it's so sad that a lot of people don't want to be known what they're doing with 2K because of such the bad stigma around 2K. And I think that's what's really crazy about it. So you can't even be proud of the fact that you are doing certain things. And I feel like for me, I've been like the poor man Ronnie. I'm like the punching bag because like they know me as like the leader of next makers. So I'm just like boom, boom, taking all these blows every single time something negative happens. But you'd be amazed, man. A very small percentage are even able to even have a say. So a lot of next makers don't even have a say. So they can't be yes man. They can't be anything because they don't even have no power authority to do anything. They don't get anything out of it because they're not even doing enough to even make a transaction with 2K. You look at the people that are doing things with 2K, I'll say half of them aren't even next makers. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about like the ones that are on their channels that are doing like on their TikToks or doing the TikToks or doing like, you know, tournaments or whatever type of association. There is no type of, you're not bringing anything to the table, so you're not going to be, it's not transaction. I think that's what people have to understand about that. But I know like that was a big thing. A lot of people think people are yes men and that why they don't speak out. I'll say this. I speak out. If y'all watch my Twitter, I speak out. Like, I say certain things that I'm mad about. Like, I'll be frustrated and I posted it up there or whatever. But I'm not the type of person that's just going to go out there and just go absolutely ape shit.
Yeah, you're more of like a positive person. I've talked to you, like you'll voice your frustrations when we're playing or something, but you're not gonna OD it. And that's the bigger picture. And that's why, like, even I said, if people were like, who do I think should be the next maker? I would more say him. Pre-gambling thing that happened, it would be him. Me? Oh, please no. But it's because I get way more angry with the gameplay than everything else. Like, and I don't, it's not even that I be biased. I can still see the good or like what I want to change. Is just, I wouldn't even want to ever be in the next maker. I just would like to have a pipeline where I could provide the negative feedback, because I'd say season 2, I'll make it quick. Season 2, Limitless wasn't working for guards. Shooting slump was bad. PGs were just in hell. Plucks were bad. Limitless wasn't working. Jump shots swung down. Me and Mike Wayne talked in Iggy Mo stream. I ended up getting into the Discord. Me and him talked. I voiced my frustrations. He responded. He asked me for positivity. I gave him positivity. He was like, well, the way it comes across, he says, I know because he's talked to me in the league. It seems like all you do is spew negative. And I said, yeah, I feel like that's what everybody says until they like actually talk to me or actually ask the right questions. Because I said, if you're just sitting in my stream regularly, yeah, I'm BSing. Like, I'm gonna keep talking BS about the game because I'm playing the game and I'm getting cheated. If we were to sit here and have a heart-to-heart for an hour, you ask me what do I think is good about the game, might be low, and you ask me what's bad about the game, obviously I'll be able to do it. So that's what I'd say. I just wish the devs were more. This is why I thought what Wolf was gonna do, because Wolf was my guy. You feel me? And I'm not knocking anything. I just wish they were a little bit more vocal, because I feel like when the game goes downhill, they all disappear. Given I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, I 100% understand that, because I remember when I was in the 2K league, the NDAs we had signed, etc. I remember those conversations, what was going on, but it's like they should at least make themselves worthy or like talk or do something. Nobody's talking out. The only person I can even get to respond to me is you, or if I hit up this one dev, and that dev's going to basically give me the media train. I can't get anything. I'm not trying to break Rosetta Stone. I just want to know, like, hey, why are you guys not out here doing this? Or why are you guys not trying to do this? You should have did it like that. So that's why I just feel like they should add a few more people that are transactional, as you said. If this many people in Next Maker program aren't giving anything, I got somebody right here who will give something. And I promise he'll be negative during the gameplay, but like, I promise he'll give good feedback. And I feel like that's what they're lacking in, good feedback. I know they might not want it from everybody, the VIPs. I'm not down that they're not spewing the game more than I am behind the scenes.
Nah, like I
but
said,
I feel like
there's open conversations about that.
That's what I'm saying. I 100% know, because I remember just one person I was talking to was a Next Maker program. I don't know if he was VIP. We're having an off screen, and I was like, I called him a de-esser, and then he said something. Do you think that I really don't cut their behinds off stream? And I'm like, that's all you had to say. You could have started with that. You feel me? And once I understand that, I feel like it needs to be reworked. I'm not saying you don't need to be the leader. Add a few more bodies that are transactional and who are actually trying to make change instead of just coming in. Give me a logo, give me 3 codes, I'm fine. You feel me?
Yeah. Who becomes the next maker, who becomes VIP? I don't have no say in that, whatever. But I will say this, though, is that if you reach out, the community team is the people that you should reach out to when you want to have opportunities. And that's the community team. Like, those are the people you need to reach out to. Unfortunately, there's not a community manager. I don't know if that's
at the moment. No.
Yeah, it's not a community manager. So in order to reach, and I feel like this, because I feel like I get hit with the most DMs and like freaking trash thrown. And I'm like, bro, I don't have no power. I have no authority. I have nothing to do with nothing other than the fact of is that community is where you want to go with that. But even then, just like we had this whole 2-hour conversation about all the ins and outs of MYTeam, at the end of the day, you can say something, they can hear it, but then they also can go a different direction. I think that's something that people have to understand. It's not like, as I said, almost 99% of the stuff that we talked about today, I agree with, right? But that doesn't mean when I say that, because I have on numerous times, doesn't mean that it's going to
change it.
Of course, right? It doesn't work like that.
That's life, though.
That's life. You know what I mean? So, hopefully that cleans some stuff up. I know, Ty, you was having something you wanted to say.
Yeah, the one thing I would say about it is, and this might be completely separate than the next makers, but from like 2K's perspective, if they're gonna be so against content creators and what we have to say that they physically make devs unfollow us creators, I think that says a lot. Like for me, why would I want to be a next maker and represent 2K when they're having the people that make their game unfollow the creators?
Yeah.
Like that rubs me such the wrong way.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm against next makers because every situation I've had is it's like if somebody works for 2K or has a contract with 2K, it's like they don't have the community's best interest. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel.
No, trust me, and I think I'm glad you brought that part up because I want to knock this out because we're already 5 minutes over. But contracts, right? People don't sign contracts. Just to put that out there. Right, are
they signing NDAs then?
There's no like the NDAs that are there's not NDAs that are signed that say NDAs are signed for intellectual property that are stuff that you might know that other people that are not public yet. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else stating that you can't say anything bad about the game. None of that stuff. You can do that. There's a lot of people that
that's free will.
Free will. You can say and do whatever you want. And the people that are under contract, you can probably count on one hand.
So let me ask you this. What do they get and what does that person get? Like what is the return from them being a next maker?
I would say,
what is the give and take?
Listen, that's what I was saying in the beginning, man. No one is there is nothing right now, anybody's getting any type of benefit out of that. It's supposed to be a transaction thing. The people that are getting the most out of the next makers are the ones that are popping and doing things to where 2K is excited about. Everybody else, they're just sitting in the Discord doing nothing.
So a 2K next maker really is nothing.
No,
means it
depending on who it is. They can be looked at as nothing if they're not transactional and they're not doing anything. The best way for me to explain it, what the hard truth is, they're basically just being yes men for fun. And if you're saying they're not signing a contract that's actually saying, hey, you need to be a yes man or you're fired, because I doubt that's how 2K would work.
Damn, no, ain't nobody gonna sign. I wouldn't sign that shit.
Then,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, then that means they're doing it out of free will, which makes the situation that Ty's talking about even worse. Because I thought it because of that.
But the other side of
but see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like listen, everybody's their own man, everybody's their own woman. What I'm saying is that when you choose not to publicly or speak out against something, that is your individual person. That's not on reflection of the other next makers. Each person is their own person. So for me, I speak out on tons of stuff. If you go on my Twitter feed and start scrolling down, you'll see me drop videos and be like, bro, I don't understand why this is not a foul. Like you'll see me just like put things up there. I do it in a constructive manner. They know where I stand on a lot of this stuff, right? But that's just as far as it goes. If people are choosing just to keep their mouth closed because they feel like, well, I don't want people to get mad at me, then that's just on them. Because me personally, I'm going to speak my mind, but I'm also going to do it in a way to where if I have the right channels or I know like a certain person I can go to, I'll go straight to the source. But I'm not going to just do what other people expect you to do, which is make a long video, just absolutely bashing, trashing, and calling out individuals' names, devs, and stuff like that, whatever, saying you piece of shit, fuck you, you know what I mean? Like, just going to, like, that's what they expect. That's what they expect certain people to do. And I'm just like, no, that's not really me. That's just not my character. That's not how I am. I'm not trying to say it's wrong or right. What I'm saying is that's just not how I operate.
That's a little OD. And this is coming from OD King. That's a little OD. Because I OD'd, but like, even in the way in the devs I talk to, this is why I do miss the thing about 2K League, because I had like a clean pipeline to like, hey, this is trash. This can't, because the league build, they want the league build to be exactly how like the pros want the league build to be. So with that, I could just go to so-and-so and be like, I'm not gonna lie, this sucks. Take it out. And then they go ask 10 other people to see if I was being biased, etc. But I would never just, hey, F you. That's kind of OD, because it's not that serious to me, honestly.
I think the thing too, and this is just another thing, I've already brought it up, that I think it's at 2K's level, and that they force people to do certain things. It's just because like the devs unfollowing creators. And I think that's just a small thing. And I get it. Mm-hmm. The creators were negative during that thing. But I think that's the reason I think it boils down to everything. The next makers, the this, the that. That's why like I blame 2K for a lot of it. Because it's like, I think that says a lot when you do that. And so that's another reason I think it's just, from my opinion, that and then other personal experiences that
I trust me, and like I said, man, I think it's unfortunate that the way that the next makers roll out and how it's been for the past couple of years is definitely needs a refreshing type breath of air, and it does need to be some, revamping, that type of deal. I definitely can understand that portion. Hopefully things can get better over time. We'll just have to wait and see on that. Again, I'm kind of in the dark on a lot of stuff. I just kind of when my number's called, I just, I come up and I evaluate if I want to do it or not, and then keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, guys, like I said, we kind of read over a little bit, man. But again, man, I do appreciate these conversations, man. I really enjoyed the time that we've had in these 2 hours. I definitely will hope that, these conversations, once this goes live on Spotify and YouTube, that, it'll open up some more conversations. And again, as we all know, definitely 2K is going to see these things. So I think it's going to be pretty dope to get two of the biggest names in MYTeam, also some of the best players in MYTeam, to come up here and speak on the game, man. So I thoroughly appreciate everything that y'all have done today for the community at the end of the day.
Truly appreciate you for having me. Any other time you need me, you can DM me. I will respond. It ain't gonna be right away, but I will end up responding.
Y'all boys, man, what y'all be doing? Like, y'all don't see it. Man, listen, I can go on and on about that, man. I had to keep hitting them up, like, bro, are y'all ready, man? Are y'all up? Like, what's going on?
I was doing something while not doing nothing at all. But I didn't have my phone with me at the time, so that's why I wasn't responding.
Man, I'll be busy, and I thought we were doing it on the weekend, and then again, man, I'm all over. But I appreciate it, man. I'm glad I was able to speak my mind, man.
Yeah,
and that's
definitely
that's what I appreciate, when you let me speak my mind, and there's like nothing, no sets, man. I love that.
Yeah,
so
man.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Well, there you have it. Again, you know what I'm saying? We're wrapping up this episode, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. If it's on Spotify, make sure y'all subscribe there. But again, man, appreciate y'all, and we're out, man.